proxy for every horror fan. I think horror fans will definitely see their life on screen when they see this movie. And more important, I think the idea of the movie is to showcase that horror is not as simplistic as it looks. There's a lot more to it. And I think horror, and especially non-horror fans, will actually like it because they will get to understand and review some films that right away they were like, oh, you know, I don't like this. I understand there's a lot more layers to it. And it's not as simple as it looks.
Rob agrees.
So tell us, give us a taste of some of the locations you traveled to across the globe that we're going to be visiting tonight.
Well, have you ever heard of Toronto?
No, move along.
So we started there. We went to Tokyo. We went to Mexico City, a little town in the south of Mexico City called Xochimilco, which really, really does it up for Day of the Dead. And that's why we went there. We went to London, England. New York, hell of a town. And Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And Waterloo. You'll know it when you see it.
And before we give away some swag, I want to ask how the whole two-director thing worked in this case. Did you guys have very set jobs, or were you at each other's throats? How did that go?
No, actually, we worked pretty well together. Nick and I have worked together for many years on various projects, and so we decided to take this one on together, and we really did work really well together. We kind of took all the different aspects of the film and sort of literally did them together, from producing, directing, to editing, even a little bit of writing together, camera, exactly, whatever it takes. So yeah, we really did work together well. So.
And also I would say, like, even though the two of us are directing, you know, and decorating and whatever, like, I would say, like, it's the three of us. Like, the three of us have been in the same office every day for the past 2 years thinking about this. So regardless of the create and however it works, and, you know, what you will see is Tal's life on screen, I think it's impossible to, like, leave Tal out of this, you know. And it's not only his life on screen, and that makes him the main character, but it's also the knowledge that he brought, and definitely different points of view that we didn't have about it. I think that's really important to remark.
And I thought it was fun to like play these guys against each other. You know, it was really easy. Like you tell them, Nick, can we do this? Yeah, that's a good idea. Bring it to Rob. Rob's like, what's wrong with you guys? And, you know, just really like when you, on those days when like you're editing and I've got nothing to do, you're just like screwing with them emotionally. It's really fulfilling. Really why I got into this business.
My favorite part of the making of this film was I'd be sitting in my office and Tal would come by and he'd start pacing around. And he would cock his hat back on his head. Maybe he'd put his hand in his beard. He'd go, dude, it's so crazy, dude. Dude.
There's no words sometimes for some shit, you know what I mean? It's like 1 minute you're like watching Dawn of the Dead for like the 85th time, and then the next minute you're like, hey, let's go to Japan and talk to like all the guys there. So it's like, what do you say to that except, dude, you know? Dude, it's so crazy. And that's it, that's really...
My point being, you are having your mind blown constantly just by making this project, and I think that's going to translate to what you guys are going to see on screen. Because as much as we know that the world of horror is big, after you watch this, it's going to like add another stratosphere to it, I'd say.
And here's the extra stratosphere in my particular little stratosphere. In about 2001 or maybe 2002, I discovered this little sort of backroom screening series in a dive bar on Queen West across the street from the mental institution called the Vatican, and it's called Cinema Macabre, and in the paper they were advertising the screening of Zombie Holocaust. And I was like, who's doing this without me? Like, what the? So I said, holy shit, I gotta go check this out. And I went on a date with a lady who's here tonight with me, who I eventually married, and I discovered this whole crew of people who were like getting together and writing about horror movies and watching horror movies, and I was like, holy shit, I gotta get in on this, because this is like my lost tribe, you know what I mean? Like I finally found like the people I'm supposed to watch these goofy rubber monster horror movies with and like hang out with, and she bought me the Mickey, my wife, who I married, which, yeah, so that's... She bought me the Blood Feast 2 issue, and so now I'm here at Cinema Macabre, and it's like effing crazy. And I was at the first Toronto After Dark, and I've come to all of them, and it's like double whammy bucket list that just kind of like, not only the making of the movie, but as it keeps going on, all this like cool stuff that keeps happening. So I'm like running out of like juice in my mouth. What do you call it? Spit? But yeah, like I'm really, this is crazy for me. This is like the nexus of experiences and all other sort of pretentious shit, I guess.
Amazing. That Blood Feast 2 cover that you mentioned gives us a nice segue to give away some prizes.